This poem is titled "The World is Too Much with Us" by William Wordsworth. The world is too much with us, late and soon. Getting and spending, we lay waste our powers. Little we see in nature that is ours. We have given our hearts away, a sordid boon. This sea that bears her bosom to the moon, the winds that will be howling at all hours, and are upgathered now like sleeping flowers. For this, for everything, we are out of tune. It moves us not, great God. I'd rather be a pagan, suckled in a creed outworn, so might I, standing on this pleasant lea, have glimpses that would make me less forlorn. Have sight of Proteus rising from the sea, or hear old Triton blow his wreathed horn. The phrase "the world is too much to us" sets the theme of nature versus materialism very early on in the poem. The phrase "getting and spending" shows how society is absorbed by consumerism and isn't worried about what nature is. Little we see in nature also portrays the divide between society and nature. The speaker says we have given our hearts away because humans put their heart in the money and no longer in nature and the world. The author uses these next 3 lines to describe the relationship between sea and moon to show how society no longer cares about it, and also how the wind doesn't have an effect either. He says these things because he wants to show that he believes society has gone crazy in putting their hearts in materials instead of nature. The phrase "I'd rather be a pagan" is the turn for this poem because he starts to talk about more religion and not as much nature. He also starts talking about himself instead of society. This phrase also shows that he wishes he could go back in time to when society appreciated nature instead of appreciating materialistic things, which leads into the next line, which also portrays that he wants to go back in time. The speaker uses allusions of Proteus and Triton, who are both sea gods, and Proteus can predict the future while Triton can control the waves. And he mentions these gods because he wants them to make humanity appreciate nature. This is a patriarchan sonnet, and it's basically saying that the world and society now values money and materials instead of nature like they used to, which is why the author really wants to go back and go to a time when they did appreciate nature. This poem has a negative connotation because of the words the author uses, like forlorn and a sordid boon, and also for this, for everything, we are out of tune. That also has a negative connotation, and these words just create a heavy and dark poem overall. The attitude of this poem is resentful because the speaker resents society for their disappreciation for nature and their appreciation for material possessions. There is an attitude shift between lines 9 and 10 right here because he uses words like us and we in the beginning, and right at line 9 he starts to use words like I and me.